Hello everyone, it's Kay again. It's Tuesday afternoon in the lovely month of June. Blue skies, sun shining, and golly it's hot. However, on with business. I am here with my little blue book with the camera on it, so we know what's coming. And moving forward in the challenge, today I am bringing you numbers 52, 53 and 54. It's a bit repetitive, but I'm on a roll and we're going with it. So the first thing are the tags that I've made. I've made thank you tags. Then I've made 3 traveller's notebooks, but only single notebooks. They're not big chunky things. They're just very, very simplistic. One book wrapped up and laminated and so on and so forth. And number 54 is just for you tags. So 2 lots of tags, very, very different, and the traveller's notebooks. So to bring in the first one, which are the thank you tags, and still having more, I'll just close in a bit, still having more of the lovely stamps from the Graphic 45 page, and it was 1 page with 2 strips of stamps and some scrap card floating about. I just literally used what was on my desk here, punched out the base of the tag, decorated with another punch, put the stamp on top, and then using my Martha Stewart punch, punched out 2 sets of leaves for either side. So it is quite dimensional, but not enough to cause a problem by way of popping it onto a gift or something of that nature, or popping it into a pocket on a journal. And the sentiment on it, and I love this font, is a simple thank you. I don't think we say thank you quite enough sometimes. But anyway, there is number 1 with the lovely daisies, and that's a white hammered card. And then there's some cream pearlised card. Oh, I've still got a floaty flippity bit in there in the end. Let's have that one out. A lovely bit of cream card. You'll recognise the card from other projects that I've done. And then the thank you on the bottom. Very simplistic, very plain, but also quite effective, I think. I shall probably go on to put a little bit of glitter on the centre of the flowers and so on the floral stamps. I'll see how it goes. They are really, really pretty in their own right, though, layered up like that. And here's another one in a plain matte cream card. The papers that I've used for the background I made with alcohol inks and water, and just spritzed it all and made it pretty, and then chopped leaves out of it because it contains the colours that I've got within the stamps, and I do like things to be coordinated if possible. This is another of the matte cream with that lovely stamp. I do like that. It's just so tasteful. Anyway, and a lovely little stamp there from the Graphic 45 series. Another one here, 8, that's got a little stamp down in the corner, a little chick coming out of the egg there. Same, it's Sizzix tag die I think I used. Had it in my stash such a long time, and I tend, like most people, to throw packaging away when it starts to get a little bit bashed and disorderly, so I very quickly lose track. But I think it is Sizzix. The die cut underneath the stamp, the shaped affair, is Stampin' Up punch, and then the Martha Stewart leaf stamp. But I love those. I think they're really fresh looking, very, very effective. They take a little time to do, and it's mainly because of the very small components, but I think nonetheless worth the time and effort. And I'm just so delighted. I still have 4 or 5 of the little stamps left over, which will probably pop up in another format a bit later on. So those are my 6 lovely tags. If I just arrange them like so. Like I say, the reason they're not all coordinated and wonderfully stylised is because I've used scraps, and what a lovely way to use scraps is what I'm going to say. Then I went on to make, and this is number 53, my Traveller's Notebooks. They're only dinky, they're not huge. Well, dinky, I don't know what size they are. Probably about 6 by 4, something of that nature. And a while back, in a lovely winnings that I received, and I think it was from Donna English, Crafty Don's Delights, there was this, apologies if someone else sent it to me, but it really is so lovely, and it's almost like a silicone backed adhesive lace trim. It's really, really lovely, and with it came the corners, so having laminated the pouch, popped on my little dingle dangle on the side, and I have done the spine differently because I didn't want all the elastic showing on the outside. Excuse my squeaky table, it's driving me nuts. But then when you open up like so inside, and I'm loving these Be Happy, are these funky little notebooks. Very childlike in their simplicity, but I think the sentiment on them is glorious, and it's just ordinary lined paper, ideal for popping into the handbag, for doing your shopping lists on, whatever really takes your fancy. And I've got 3 of these little darlings, all using the same paper pad, which were ideal. They were exactly the right width for the Traveller's Notepad, and actually worked very well in wrapping around the little notebook. I didn't want the flap inside, I wanted it on the outside, because that way then you can put some extra little bits inside to keep safe. So there is number 1. Number 2 is paper from the same pad, believe it or not, and I think it was from the range a good while ago, but it's that funny sized one. It's like a half A4, maybe a wee bit longer. I don't know the sizings on it entirely, I'm guessing, but essentially if you opened up the book, which I can do, and I've actually cut a bit off this end of the sheet of paper, but it lends itself beautifully to this kind of project. And inside this one is I Do Not Care, which I thought was absolutely wonderful for those days when everything's getting you down and you just want to break out, run for the hills and have a great big ice cream, you know, something of that nature. Oops, round you go, little butterfly. The butterfly is ultimately removable if not required, and it just adds another little decoration to the little taggy bit, which is a bit juxtaposed, I suppose. It's not wanting to sit down beside the journal, but it's there. What can I say? It seemed like a good idea at the time, is what I'm going to say to you. So that is number 2. I think they will go down in time. I think they're probably a little bit too large for what I've tried to do here. And I think I've got the grommet coming out there. And then Totally in Pink. And these are the, I've put a little heart on this one, used more of the lace trim, as you can see. And when you open it in this one, we've got a little selfie queen, and I just think that's absolutely adorable. Oops, I've caught a little bit of something, or got some ink on the paper there. But it doesn't, it's not a big thing to worry about. Essentially, it's about the little sentiment on the book inside for me, and then having it protected and able to be used for a little notebook that you can just keep in your handbag, which is always a lovely thing. So that's those three. Now what I'd like to do is offer these up for a giveaway. Now you can only have one. What I'd like you to do is select, if you're interested in having one of these little traveller's notebooks, what I'd like you to do is not talk in terms of colours. I've shown you the little sayings inside: happy, selfie queen, and donut care, I think was the other one, was it? Donut care. If you would like to state your interest by stating which of the little travel notebooks you would like by coining that phrase inside the cover, then what I'll do is draw out a name for each of the ones that people like, and whoever is drawn will have that particular traveller's notebook. I would like to say at this point that the cushion has not been claimed by Karen. I'm going to give Karen until the end of the week, Karen Blake, to contact me with her address. If I haven't heard from her by then the heart will be drawn again. But you know, I have to give people time to claim their little prize, and I know, you know, it's busy and people have lives and so on and so forth, so I will give it until the end of the week for the address to come to me. If I don't hear from Karen in that time, then I will assume she's no longer interested in the cushion, and I will draw again from the ladies that also said they would quite like it in their lives. Now the third item for today, which is number 54, are more tags, and these are again made up from scraps, and they are just for you. And this is what they look like. Again, it's a Sizzix die. It is really dimensional because I have curled up the leaves a little bit. The little sentiment is in the centre, and I only had enough of the colours to mix and match, not to actually do the same thing throughout. I've put a tiny bit of ribbon on the back, plus a little bit of double-sided tape in case it's just to be stuck onto a gift rather than hung from a gift. But you know, all of these tags, they can be used for so many things. Card toppers, it would still work, you know, an attachment for a bag and a gift in a bag, it would work for that kind of thing. You could have it also as a little hanger for something to remind you of something nice that you've had in the post. Whatever, it's limitless, it really is. But that, I'll just come in a little bit closer so you can see them up close, because they really are so delightful. And it's just pinks and a little bit of the mirror board. I think there's mirror board on most of them in one form or another. Here's another one. This one's a little bit more dimensional, and that was because I had bits left, and I thought, well, I'm not going to throw them away, I'll just add them to the overall design. And as I say, this is another Sizzix die, but very effective when it's layered up. I've used it a lot on gift boxes and that kind of thing, and just put ribbon around the dimensional bit, and it works really well. Here's another one, all the same sentiment, and then this is the final one, and they really are so pretty, so summery. I've really quite enjoyed putting those together. So there are my items for the hashtag DWP 100 Things challenge, and that takes me up to number 54, so I'm absolutely delighted with that as well. So happy crafting, everyone. Thank you as always for sharing this time with me. It's hugely appreciated, and I will be back again in a day or two with more for the challenge. Bye bye for now. Happy crafting.